declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafraland. This no election in Biafraland has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafraland.
Fortunately, we don't reason like that. Anybody thinking that Igbo presidency 2023 will stop us? What we want is Biafra, and what we're going to get is Biafra.
No, not at all. What should I do? It's what we expect to happen. But I want our people to be very calm. I want Biafra land to be calm, and peaceful. Calm and very, very peaceful. We are fighting to defend our people. Not to kill them. Yes. We are fighting to defend them. That's why I'm here. Yes. And we'll continue to do so until we get victory. Yes.
Hello, everyone, Biafrans, wherever you are, lovers of freedom, good people and of good conscience, wherever you are in all over the nations of the world. I want to welcome you to this broadcast. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and I say you are welcome to today, the 21st of October 2022, the last working day of the week, which is Friday. I want to thank you all for joining, and I know that today you are actually enjoying, preparing yourselves for the weekend. Don't want to Kelechi. Thank you, Tina Martins. I thank you for you're the first person I'm having here, and commenting. Thank you so much, Tina. You're always there for me here. Thank you so much for joining. I want to appreciate every one of you wherever you are. Eric Barry, I can see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you too. Good day to you also, my brother. Thank you receiving your message as the second today. I want to welcome all Biafrans, Biafra to the world. Welcome, Brother Lee. Yes, welcome to you too, Biafra to the world. I want to thank every one of you who is joining, and I want to say thank you all. And this is a great day that we have to, reason together and talk about some facts, some basic facts that concerns us. Now, remember that the issue of election is critically and the focus at this time, because we are actually going to be using the weapon of no election as a means of, touching down on the Nigeria contraption and dealing with them. Omoyi, is it Yoruba name? Omoil. Please, good day to you also. Omoyi. I don't know how to pronounce that because of that. Please, you're welcome. You're welcome anyways. You can help me pronounce it well. Wachineke greetings. Thank you so much, Izogu, for joining. I want to welcome you all, for joining. And today we're going to be talking critically on the issue of election. But today also I'm going to make it interactive. If you want to call in, I'm going to display the number so you can call in. We're not going to make it too long. In less than an hour or so, in an hour, we'll be through with today's broadcast. Actually, I wanted to go into extreme teaching today, but because of the broadcast of Mazi Simon Ekpa yesterday, there are some things that one needed to buttress on. And of course, you heard him when he says that the autopilot media team should compile details of the election, electionary offices and all of that, those offices that we require people to be elected into. And then we also need to portray the fact of the election so that people begin to understand. Now, the reason why I decided to choose this topic, I just chose it just some minutes ago. I actually I was thinking of just going straight to the teachings, as I told you, where we're going to be analyzing the issue of the United States and other countries who actually became the states, of course, and became states of their own and the nations of their own, where they are now operating in a better platform and on a pedestrian that is good. But I just decided to go into the facts of about no election. And sometimes we think that people know some things, concerning a particular thing, especially when you hear about election. You might think that people actually have information about what election is all about. But you just discover that most people are just blinded to this fact. And that is why you see most of our people are going after election. And well, when I say most of our people, I mean most of them little percentage that is actually talking about, actually fighting what we're doing, because out of the whole of Biafra, the Biafra people, we have only about 1.1% of people who are actually pursuing after elections. Biafrans generally are knowledgeable and they know the consequences of election. Now, for this 1.1% that actually are pursuing after elections, based on some of them are induced, some of them are ignorant, some of them are just being foolish, induced, ignorant, or foolish, even when, of course, when induced, also being foolish is part of being foolish. We will still have to come to teach. Now, do you know why we do that? Because one, we are genuine. Genuine people want to win everybody over, even if we know we can't win everybody over. But the fact is this, that we have to play the work and do the work. Jesus says something. He said, I must do the work of him that sent me while it is day. Even if he knew that not everybody will accept the gospel, he still needed to do it. Remember one of the parables he gave. He said that the shepherd actually lost one of his sheep, and he kept the 99 at a corner and went to look for the one that is missing. Out of the 100 he had, 99 was safe. He left the 99 somewhere, preserved and safe. He went to look after the one that was missing. He also heard a story, and he says something that when that one was found, there was rejoicing. He was calling the neighbors. I found the one that is still missing. Because the truth about it is that the fold must be complete. As much as it has to do with the fold, there must be completion. Because it is something of joy when the fullness of what you actually are fighting for is intact and complete. And so basically, Jesus talked about that parable, and the shepherd, went for that one. He also talked about a woman who lost a coin. She had so much coin, and then one fell off and went into, was moving around, and then she had to put on the lights, going everywhere, moving everything around and searching for that coin. And when she found it, she was happy she had found a coin, because that one missing in the whole of the coin reduces the number or the amount expected or needed, for a particular cause. And so, of course, when you have people you love, you actually want to win them over. You want them to be safe. You want them to be saved. And that is what we are doing on this platform. That is why you see us talking about this election thing, not because we cannot ignore all these people who are actually fighting the issue of election. Fighting the issue of no election, not because we can't ignore them, but because we have to do justice to these facts. And that is why we come always to talk about this. Now, today I'm going to be opening up facts and revealing facts that you should understand, that will make you understand the consequences, of going for election, and understand the basic blessings or the basic benefits of avoiding, ignoring, and boycotting election. Now, the issue of boycotting is not what we're doing right now. But you are going to boycott it because you are a Biafran. You are going to boycott it while we are stopping it. The people who are going to enforce the no election critically by the raising of the dragon flag, one, by you will boycott it, you will stay in your house. Then those ones who actually are going to be enforcing it are the alliance, the members of the alliance. That means we're going to have our alliance going strongly into executing what we actually have agreed, to have. Edith Nedu, I see you today. I think I didn't see you yesterday. Did I really see you yesterday? Well, you're welcome today. I know you have the time. Yes, I think you were here as well. So I don't know. I can't remember now. God bless you, and God bless you too, Edith Nedu. I'm happy to have you here. and God bless you also. Now, we are going to be looking at the facts about the no election, and the things that we need to know about this. First, we have to understand how society runs. Everywhere there have been a sense of leadership, there is an impact that the people have over that factor, which means that you can't talk about leadership without talking about the people. That's the fact I want you to understand first. First, understand that you don't talk about leadership or the people who occupy offices or who occupy positions of leadership without talking about the people who amongst them people are selected to occupy those offices. So when you want to talk about leadership, and then you must first talk about the people and how they are constituted. Now, first, you have to understand this also, that if you talk about a people, you must talk about their collective interest. Because before you talk about leadership, you must talk about their collective interest. Before you begin to talk about them collectively now deciding to go for a particular people or particular persons for as their leaders. So now you must look at the issue of collective interest. You can't have collective interest except there is collective agreement. That is the first point you must understand. That is, I'm revealing some facts right now. But before I go on in this, I'm going to be opening them up strongly. I also want you to call in. If you want to call in, I'm going to tell you the number to call in, and I'm going to display it very soon so that you can talk. Let's rub minds and discuss, because we have to look at things critically, so that we can open the minds of our people to understand. We want to save those 1%, 1.1% that are lost. We want to save everybody because we are concerned about the well-being of everybody. Watching from New York. Wow, Eze, my dear, you are really great. Is doing great. I see a new Simon in you, as I saw new Nambikano in Simon. Thank you so much. This is an honor. This is a great one you have given to me. I'm so delighted for this, Eze. I'm so delighted for this. I'm so really, really delighted. You have actually, prompted my spirit here. I'm so delighted. I'm just glad that, you recognize, what I'm doing as great. And of course, you could actually give this narrative towards that. And also, of course, and I also appreciate people who have been commenting and coming here, to comment. It's a great lift into my spirit, because actually I was really down this morning, based on some factors, some stuff. But because of the words that are coming from you guys now, I'm going to, somebody was actually talking to me previously, and one of us here, I'm not expecting her messages. She was trying to build my spirit this morning. And I said, okay, thank you so much. And now I'm coming to have these messages from you guys. Honestly, I'm so glad. I'm so delighted. Thank you so much, Eze. I'm great. And I'm honored to have you because you're from, all the way from New York. Thank you so much for being part of this, Eze. And everybody, Edith, Nedu, and every other person I've commented, I really appreciate you all, and then, so let's go on to the business. Now we want to look at it. First, there is the concept of agreement. You must look at the concept of agreement. You don't agree on matters without coming to a consensus about those matters. Am I correct? Definitely, before you agree on a matter, you must come to consensus about the matters. Am I correct? Making sense. Let's look at an average business. Biafra to the world says, hit like button, please. Please, he has reminded me, please, let's hit the like button, and also let's also subscribe to the channel, and then share it on all your social media platforms. By the time you like it, other people will get the notification, and by the time you subscribe to your platform is effective enough to actually get more people to be prompted about this. And by the time you like the video, also you get this to be done. So let's do that, because we're going to be looking at things critically. We have to reason, because people actually need to reason, especially those ones who are sold out and those ones who are easily compromised, especially those ones who are dilly-dallying in their minds. They are actually not really having this mindset, that actually prompts them effectively, to understand things. When issues come up, when the enemies come up, when the e-frogs come with their concept, they are confused. They don't know where to stand. They are very dilly-dally. That is why we come every day to preach, because we want to keep our people's minds continually, uplifted and knowledgeable. And the fact here is that the cause and the actions of slavery, both an extension in proxy using the Fulani Caliphate and the politicians amongst us who have actually compromised. These factors are actually basic of why sometimes our people reason below standard. They are debased on their minds because they have been reduced by the concept of these actions by these people. For instance, they use the weapon of poverty. They try to make sure that the policies and everything they do. Mrs. Moran Haynes, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I've actually been looking out for your message, and now you are here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for joining. And then so now, as I was saying, let's hit the like button now. Please hit the like button, share this video, and also subscribe to this channel. Now, I want us to, because as we talk here, you also, wherever you are, you will be reasoning over what I'm saying. And when you reason over what I'm saying, because you have the Spirit of God in you, you'll be getting the truth and you'll be confirming the truth. You'll be confirming the truth. So that is why I'm taking it time now gradually to take it in these steps. I don't know why God decided to put this in my mind just about 2 minutes ago, before the program started, about 2 minutes before I started this broadcast. I just decided to talk about these facts. And after listening to Mazi Samanepa too, on yesterday's broadcast, when he was actually talking about some basic things, I actually wanted to go into the teachings that I was trying to do, I have been doing, but trusting on them. But we're going to go on that tomorrow, by Saturday, tomorrow, we're going to talk about that. Now, listen to this. Now, before you talk about, because we're looking at the facts, we're revealing facts, why no election is a strong concept, why you should understand the basic content of no election. Because if you understand the basic content of no election, Ndewo Kelechi, Onyi, welcome. Ndewo to you too. Thank you for joining this broadcast, and please share and like, and of course, and let people also join. Thank you so much. I'm delighted hearing from you guys. Makes me happy. If you want to call in too, I'm going to, in the next 30 minutes, maybe I'm going to open it up and then you can call in. Please, we want people to call in. And of course, if you have your views, Fridays like this, we want to hear your views about a particular matter. For instance, on this topic, I want to also get your views, because something drops into your mind as I speak. And that thing you need to say to Biafrans, or you type them out, we can read them out, or you call in, and then we can give you the platform to speak about them. Now, we are looking at the issue of election and the facts, revealing the facts. Now, these facts are basic of why we say no election. And when people hear no election, they just think that it is just one of those things that we want to say as a means of saying that we are fighting, or we want to get freedom. They think it's just one of the mantra for just coming on the concept of, asking for freedom, or demanding to be free, or forcefully taking our freedom. No election is a force action towards taking our freedom. You should understand, before you say no election, that means you're going to clamp down on some forces. And to clamp down on some forces, on these forces that actually want to project this election, you must check your capability and your ability. Now, let me tell you something. When you want to check on your capability and ability, you must understand that it begins with you as the people. That is why I started when I started, I said everything that has to do with decisions, culture, and tradition, and the actions of the people begins with the people. You can't talk about a government without talking about the people, and you can't talk about instituting a government without talking about a collective interest, or the collective idea, or the collectiveness of the people. And if you have to talk about the collectiveness of the people, then you must understand that the first thing that happens amongst people is the point of agreement. At what point do they agree? What do they agree on? And then at that point of agreement, they have reached a collective, decision. It is from that point of agreement that you can talk about a collective, decision, because from the collective agreement, or from the agreement, you can now look at the decision, because the decision will spell out the agreement. That means if you want to talk about the issue of election, you want to talk about the issue of forging ahead as a people, you must look at the decisions the people have made based on their collective interest. Their collective interest spells out an agreement, because it is their collective interest that interprets the agreement. And it is the clauses that make up those agreements that makes you understand the decisions that people have taken. So we're going to be looking at these things critically from the first point, from the people. Now, first, you must understand that as a people, we must come to terms with nationhood. As I told you initially, I said, when you want to define nation, you're going to talk about, if you go to dictionary, the common definition is that it's about a people, a group of people with common ties. It's not talking about an individual, but a group of people. Ndewo Mazik, God bless you. Thank you so much. And Lolo, the lady, you were very, wonderful yesterday. You did some marvelous messages and all of that. Thank you so much, Lolo, the lady, for joining. And I've been looking forward to seeing your message today again. And of course, you are here. Thank you so much. And everyone that is watching, please just subscribe to this channel and like the video, send it to all the social media platforms. Let people join in so that they can learn, because we're looking at things from the grassroots. We want people to understand when we say no election. I want to take it from that level where people will understand it. So commonly, I want to make it very common and very simple. I'm just using easy analysis so that people can understand these things. So now I continue with this analysis now. Now look at it. Now you are going to talk about nationhood. As I told you, I said you are going to first define what it means by nation, because you cannot be you with other people except there is a particular thing that brings you together. Listen to it again. You cannot be you with other people. You are you alone. But you cannot be you with other people except you look at the factors that bring you together. Am I making sense? Let's get these things right, because sometimes our people are so shallow. They begin to argue on some matters that sometimes you wonder why they argue. But let's look at it critically. And before I go on, let me read Tina Martin's. Tina, you're welcome. I've always said that not even Jesus Christ can salvage Nigeria again. The zoo has designed to steal from me and you. So please don't validate it for another 4 years. Wow, great one. Designed to steal from me and you. You just made a point that relates to what I'm saying right now. I said you are you alone as a person. That means when you want to build your economy as a person, you look at the factors and the things that you have agreed in your heart and the things that you have decided to do. But when you want to look at the factors that concerns every other person around you, or what your interest is with other people, you must also consider the people in agreement, or in juxtapositioning your ideas and collective mindset in the place of how you collectively come together to agree on a term or on a thing that will actually bring your both interests together. So now, as a people, for instance, as Biafrans, which we are first, because we are first Biafrans first, you must understand our origin. As I told you, we're looking at where this no election thing is coming from, and then we're looking at how it began. So revealing this fact, now first we have to look at you. Now you are you, and as you are, your source is Biafra. And of course, your origin that constitutes your source is Igbo, because I have told you initially that every one of us have our source in Igbo, as according to how Mazin Namdekan explained it, the old time people who have been there. So that means you are part of a system that have been existing from a foundation. That means your father, Eri, and other people who came in and composed that nation in the Igbo, that's in the Igbo people. So they are now the first thing you have to understand is that whether you are Ijo, whether you are Shakiri, whether you are Doma, whether you are those whether the coastal region or the riverine areas and all of that, you are first Akwa Ibom, Anang, all these places, whatever you are from a source. You are Igbo. From that point now, you can begin to name the next point of it, which now from that point now, how do we agree on this? We have to understand where we came from. You have to respect the orders of your forefathers. You can't reject your father and think that you can continue to have a means of source, or a source, or a means. Now, what do I mean by that? The moment you tell yourself that my father is no more my father, at that point in time, you have actually brought confusion into your family. Because when you begin to breed children, what you are going to keep doing is that you're going to begin to feed them with that information that you have allowed yourself, or that lie that you have allowed yourself to believe in. And that lie now begin to eat you up, because what you are going to do is this. You tell your children, I have no father. My father is not, I've rejected my father. They ask you, where is your father? Who is our grandfather? You say you don't have one. They ask you, where are we from? You say you're not from anywhere. You are just from here. You are living here. This is where you're living. Now, when your children grow up without those information, they begin to behave that way, because they believe that where they are is actually where they are from. And so amongst them also, they begin to look at you as their father, but they begin to feel that from you, who is their father, they don't understand your source. They don't even know where you're from. So they begin to deny their source, because they don't even know where you are from. So they will always think that it is you they know, and so they hold on to you who they know. Let me explain this too in regards to Biafra. Now, when it comes to Biafra, we have those people who came out from the Igbo, who are Igbos, who came out as Igbos, and then begin to embrace their tribes and all of that. They say they are Ijo, they are Anang. Nothing is wrong with that anyways. But when you refuse to let people know that even if you are Ijo, you have a source first. The first point source, or the first point of your source, is the Igbo, which means that means you are Igbo, you came out from Igbo, and then you became Ijo. You decided to constitute that tribe as Ijo. You came out from Igbo, and then you decided to constitute that source as Anang. You came out from Igbo, you decided to constitute that source as Shakiri. You came out of that source, you decide to constitute a source, a system or a tribe as what other tribe? Idoma. All these ones are Arochukwu, all of them. You constitute, foundationally, you are from Igbo source, but now you begin to constitute tribes amongst, in the midst of your source. So when you hear of Shakiri and all of that, that doesn't mean that you are less Igbo. You should understand this. Even if amongst everything, as I told you initially, that even if amongst everything, we still have people who still call themselves Igbo. That does not mean that you are less Igbo because a particular people decide to call themselves the tribe of the Igbo. Now, let me explain that to you. For instance, I'm from the Igbo tribe, and I'm also from Igbo, the source where all of us come from, both Ijo and all of that. I'm from that source, and my forefathers still retain the Igbo. So we call ourselves Igbo. Now, for instance, if I decide now to raise another tribe and begin another style or another beginning, then what I do is this. I now decide to change my name. Instead of Igbo, maybe I turn the name to, let's use the Ijo. So I now say I am Joe. So I turn it upside down. And I'll say I am Joy. From today, I want to be named as Joy. I want to start a tribe. I want to be named as Joy. Does it make me less Igbo? Doesn't make me less Igbo. Does it make anybody who is from Ijo now, who decides to say, okay, he wants to form his own tribe. Now he wants to call it Joy or Joy. And then he now begins to design some languages. I remember when we were young, when we're very, I'm not saying I'm old now, when we were little, when we were still children. Let me not say when we are young, because if I say when we are young, some people think that I've become an old man. Anyways, I'm still a young man. That's why we're doing what we're doing as young men. And we have the motivation by God because we're not part of those who actually, designed, who saw the war, but by what we have experienced and the things we watch and the things we know, we are able to understand what people went through. Now, if you look at behind me, you see the man, you see Mazin Nandekano in the middle, which my body is covering. You see Simon Ekpa, you see the three men who make up what we are pursuing today, who are the strong men. And of course, you see behind you see the word mystery, although it is written the other way around because of the, but it's written mystery. Now we are going into the mystery of things that we need to know. And that is why I decided to take that that backdrop as a means of passing this information. Now we get it now. Now, as an Ijo, now you decide to say you are Joy. Now you now begin to breed children, you begin to grow children, you now begin to tell them that they are Joy. They tell you, oh, father, where are we from? You say your tribe, you are Joy. Joy has its foundation from Ijo, and then Ijo has its foundation from the Igbo. From the Igbo source. So now you have built another tribe. You are now beginning to, then your children have their own children. They begin to tell their children the same thing. Joy, Joy, Joy. And before you know it, you have your great-grandchildren. And all of them are saying the same thing, Joy. Now, and begin to compose. As I was telling you, I said when we were little, there's one particular way we try to communicate amongst ourselves so that other people don't know what we're saying. Do you know what we did? We started composing languages. What do? We take the Pidgin language, Pidgin English, Pidgin language, or that the one they call Pidgin English. We now turn the words upside down. We begin to turn every word upside down. For instance, if you want to say I am coming, we turn it upside down. Before you know it, we are the ones who understood what we were saying, but other people didn't understand around. But we were still speaking the same Pidgin English, but we were turning the words in a way that even I was surprised that we, amongst my siblings, we were able to understand that. How we were able to get everybody to learn that was strange. I didn't know how we did it anyways, but we discovered that we're able to actually get that thing together, and we would just see us brothers and sisters. We just stay together. We need to speak. And people who are in our midst will not even understand what we're saying. It was so interesting because it's just recently I started thinking, how were we able to teach ourselves this? But we understood it very clearly. Mazike, your politeness and analysis is awesome. We all appreciate you. One love. Thank you so much, Esther Okosa. Okay, Esther Okosa. I think I'm seeing. Is this the first time I'm seeing your message? I think I've seen your message before. I don't know, please. But welcome anyways, Esther. Thank you so much for that. Yes, thank you so much. This is a very great compliment. You know, your politeness and analysis, awesome. Thank you so much. You're encouraging my spirit too. You know, you're encouraging my spirit. Emenike Chibo, good morning. I think you want to say good morning or good afternoon or something to everyone. So thank you for joining, Chibo. Thank you so much for joining. You know, thank you so much. Iwunne, good afternoon, everyone. Iwunne is here again. Thank you for joining, Iwunne. You are welcome. Also, we have Esther Chijum. My keys give me wrong letters. I mean ESN. Your keys, okay? Are you talking about when typing, you're trying to type, you know, something? Maybe you'll help us understand what you actually are saying, you know, so that we can get on with that. So thank you so much, Esther Chijum, for joining. You know, I'm delighted to have you all. Now, I'm analyzing something here. And we, as the children, we spoke this thing and we would understand ourselves. Now, do you know that if we had decided to make that a language, we now tell ourselves, all our children will learn this. All our children will learn this. So I go, my brothers go, my sisters go, they begin to teach their children that same thing. Do you know that they would have grown to think that that is our language? We tell them that is our language because as Jo'i, which we have composed, it becomes our language. They now learn it as our language. They now begin to teach others. Now, tomorrow, now after the 4th generation or the 5th generation, people now come and say, we don't speak Igbo, what we speak is Jo'i. But that doesn't mean they are not Igbos. We practice the same Ogbara Igbo, Harry language. Okay, Iwunne. Okay, yes, that's it. That's how it happens. You know, before you know it now, by the time I become old, my other children grow up and their children grow up and their children, every line, that line now will now grow up and say, we don't know, we are not Igbos, we are Jo'i. You see, that is how these things happen. This is how these things happen. So when you see a particular people begin to say, well, our language is not Igbo, we are speaking, that doesn't mean they are not Igbo. For the fact that you are Ijo doesn't mean that you are not Igbo. For the fact that your language is Ijo doesn't mean you're not Igbo, because you're from the same source, from the Igbo race. Yes, read my earlier comment about the defunct betrayers. Okay. Oh, you made the previous comment. Okay, I think the thing has passed me, so I couldn't see it. Sorry for that. I misunderstood you there at that point in time. So okay. Yes. Okay, I think maybe later I'm going to check it out. I've not been able to see it, you know. So now, so that is what we are saying. That is why our people must be knowledgeable about these things. For the fact that what you are speaking now does not sound Igbo in the sense of Igbo, because those who now spoke that language Igbo actually retained that Igbo. Then other people begin to compose other languages. Now remember, who do you think gave languages? Aside the confusion that happened at the Tower of Babel at that point in time, about over 6,000 years ago, you know, who do you think now begin to compose languages and design languages? Do you know that people sit down to compose and design languages? Do you know that the Biafra we are talking about right now, we are already considering, which Mazin Namdekano also talked about, which is the matter is going on now. We are designing a language that will be a universal language for all Biafra. So as much as you have your Ijo language, as much as you have your Shekiri language, as much as you have your Anang language, as much as you have your Calabar language, you will still have a central language that all of us will speak, which is the Biafra language. And our constitution and every of our materials, as the years go by, will be translated into this language. In our schools, they will be teaching in this language, because we want to get away from British grip. This slavery, this English we speak, is their language. We're not saying there's anything wrong with speaking English. After all, I love speaking it too. I love speaking English. You know, but when we have our language, we now begin to feel like we are a people. The reason why English language is everywhere is because these people conquered you. When they conquer you, they give you materials that will make you continue to think about them, that will keep your mind arrested. So language is one of the concepts that keeps us arrested. Okay, well, you're welcome, Wachineke. You're welcome. Greetings from here, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much. Okay, well, thank you for joining. I'm happy to have you here. Yesterday we were very effective. Today again you're here. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy about you guys. You know, you spend your data, you invest your data, because you know, I don't call it waste. It's an investment, because when we have access things that give us knowledge, information, and all of that, it is an investment. It's not a waste. So it is part of the investment. I'm grateful that you guys are investing your data and your resources in getting what we're doing, and at the same time you are sharing on all social media platforms and getting people to be part of it. So it's part of the investment. So I'm grateful. I'm delighted to have you guys, and I'm happy that you guys are doing this. Now, you see, So as I was saying, now you see that the fact that you have decided to have your own separate languages and all of that doesn't mean that you are not Igbo. So we have established that. So as an individual now, you should understand where you're from. Even if you are Shekiri or whoever or wherever you are from, just know that you are first Igbo. So even when we now also say that these are Igbos, doesn't mean that we are actually reducing you or taking you away from the context of the truth that you are Igbo. You know, and let me read Freedom for Biafra. Freedom for Biafra say, thank you, my brother. A point of correction, please. I am a Biafra, but let me not get it wrong. Not all people from Old Eastern region who are Biafrans have Igbo origin. Let's not get it twisted. Now, let me tell you what we mean by Igbo origin. Igbo origin does not have to do with one man. Because when the Biafra, when the Igbo race began, it didn't begin with one man. You should remember our history. Eri and other people also came together. They left together. Eri didn't leave Egypt alone. He left with other people. Now, we know that some other people have come from other tribes to give birth and to become part of us. We know all of that, but we are looking at our basic source. First, understand this so that you'll understand the context where I'm coming from. Eri left with other people who came to establish in Biafra territory. Now, one thing I want you to understand, something that's coming to my mind right now, which I want every one of us to understand. When they came to Biafra land had no people. This is one of the decisions I wanted to do today, but I don't know. I wanted to go on the issue of, I'll do that tomorrow. Just get this fact. I want you to write this fact down because tomorrow by 1 p.m. I'll be here to talk about this. When they came to Biafra land, where we are right now, there were no people living there. There were no people who own that land. When America went to the Indies, that those North American area and all of those stuff, when they went to form their nation, there were people there. There were the Indies there. These are two different things. I'm going to explain all of this by tomorrow. So now let's go on what we're discussing. Now, when you talk about the Igbos, MOG, okay, MOAJ, nice talk, bro. Keep it up. Bless. More wisdom. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for joining and thank you for the compliment. I say he said to that. I say he said you are intelligent, bro. Chukwuemeka Okoro. Thank you so much, Chukwuemeka. Thank you so much for that compliment. I'm delighted to have that from you. I'm delighted to have that from you. Oh, so Andy Duru is here. Andy Duru, you're here. Oh my God, I came absolutely late. I'm so sorry, Casey. Oh my brother, no problems. Of course, I know that you might be busy doing some stuff. That is why you're here. Actually, I've been to know our names, and so it's helping me to know when we are here and when we're not here. So thank you so much for joining. IPOB Autopilot India, keep on pushing, brother. Thank you so much, IPOB Autopilot India. Thank you so much. So now let's go. That teaching will be for tomorrow, but for today, let me explain what our brother is trying to say, that we shouldn't get it twisted. But we're not getting it twisted. We're trying to give the basic concept of these things. Now, let me explain this. When Eri left Egypt, he left with other people. He didn't live alone. They all made the Igbo race. All of them that came together were foundationally of the Igbo race. Each of these people began to breed and create their own people. Don't forget this. Remember, when they left there, of course, naturally, we know that they might have left with one language. Or maybe they had their own languages they have been building for their own people. So they came with that also, which means that even if they may not all be speaking Igbo language, they might have been speaking their own language they composed for their own people. Maybe they have their own children, or they came around, they decided to create their own languages. Now they impacted this to the people they gave birth to and all of that. Remember, all of these people came from a particular source. They came with Eri. They came together. They came to the Biafra area, and they started procreating. They started increasing. Chiem Nwokoro, greetings to you. I'm live again today. We are proud of your wisdom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. I really get encouraged when you people just talk to me and all of that. It helps me. It motivates me. Thank you so much. In fact, my spirit is lifted today. We must continue. Umuchuku. Thank you so much. I'm IPOB Autopilot India. Thank you so much. Yes, we must continue, my brother. We must continue. And did you please recap with all that you have taught our people today. I really want to know and be able to follow up. Please, and Andy, you know we are working with time here, so please, I would want you. What you do is after this now, from the point you listen to, you just when you go back to YouTube, you just listen to it to that point, and then you stop. You would have gotten. I think we have just done about 35 minutes or so, or 36 minutes before you came in. You know, so you can look at it that way. Because if I want to recap, that means I'm going to just get the people who have been listening, you know, since, and they say, oh, you want to waste your give us this message and let's go on, you know. So please help me with that, and you know, just go there and then you'll get all of the details. As soon as we're through, you can get the details, you know. Ugomba, oh, Ugomba, okay, Ugomba. Greetings, Kelechi Ambrose. Thank you so much, Ugomba. I'm grateful, you know, thank you for the greeting. I'm grateful to have you, you know, and also we have Chukode. And you know, I know. Is it in us? I know. Well, I'm trying to understand the meaning. Sorry, sometimes Igbo, even if I'm Igbo, sometimes some stuff I find it hard to, unless you now explain it to me well, then I'll now know what you're saying. It's so nice to know this wisdom. Oh, Chukode, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chukode. I think I pronounce it well. I know. Okay, Chukode, thank you so much for that. Now, listen to it. Eri and other people left. Now, let's get this thing. Let's make it very simple. Let's not go into shenanigans and getting into so much details. Eri didn't live alone. Remember, those days when people are traveling, they travel in groups. Eri left with a group of people that moved over to the region through Ethiopia and all of that and came to the Biafra region. And then when they came to Biafra region, they now stayed there. Everybody started looking for, you know, this one wants to take his family to this end, the other one wants to take his family to that end, and all of that. They started growing. Now, that doesn't mean that along the line, some other people from other countries in Africa wouldn't have also located those areas and begin to come in. But everybody who came at that point in time, about 5,000 years ago, over 5,000 years ago, when the Igbo race began, they all are Igbos. They must not be from the same womb. They must not be from the same parents, but they were from this almost the same. They were just a people who started that nation. So they were called Igbos. And then as time went on, you know, and Iduru, okay, then please continue with the historical exposition. We are on point. You're on point. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you for understanding. Now, as time went on, now remember what we're trying to achieve is this: no election. We're talking about no election, but we are coming from a point where people will begin to see things from a different perspective. That is what I want to achieve. Because I told you something. I said, before you talk about a nation, before you talk about a people, you must talk about an individual. Now, when you talk about an individual, you not talk about a people or persons. But to talk about persons, you must talk about how persons came about. An individual meeting another individual and procreating, and then they get another individual or individuals. And again, an individual meeting another individual, procreating, and getting individuals. And at the same time, it begins to increase that way, and it increases that way, and it increases that way. Or an individual meeting another individual who already they may not procreate together, but he already as an individual has his own means of procreation. The other one has his own means of procreation. They now come together. Now, this is what formed the Igbo nation. This individual, Eri, had his own children. The other people, Arodi and other people who came with him, you know, they had their own children. So the Eri's children didn't come from his brother's children. Just like his brother's children didn't come from his own children, and some other people who followed them were not Eri's children, but they all came together. Now, this is a formation. We're talking about formation of a nation. The Igbo race began with such kind of formation. I want you to begin to imagine it in your mind now. Keep the light shining, my brother. Spirit-filled songs. Spirit-filled songs. Wow. Spirit-filled songs. It's an influence here. It's a touch of great things. You know, you are doing great, and the great Biafrans are watching. Thank you so much, Spirit-filled songs. I love that name, Spirit-filled songs, because we need Spirit-filled things, actually, so that we can march on to our freedom. Now, when they came together to Biafra, they were called Igbos. They started the Igbo, that is about 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, even before Christ came, before the Roman Empire, before the Grecian Empire. older than the Grecian and the Roman Empire. So they came together because they left a long time ago when Israel was in Egypt, during the Egyptian Empire. During the Egyptian Empire, get this right, during the Egyptian Empire, which is over 5,000 years ago. Now, after this, they now came to Biafra land. They now started growing, all of them taking their corners. Remember, go and read the history very well. They started growing. Nnemeka Chinedu, thank you for your teaching, sir. Thank you so much, Nnemeka Chinedu. Thank you. I'm delighted. They started growing. They were called Igbos. At a point, let's now move it to about 400 years ago, or more than 400 years ago, they now called it Biafra. Based on dynamics, based on circumstances, the name now changed because now they are beginning to have different, tribes together in this same, body called Igbo, then under the umbrella Igbo. But all of them now are beginning to choose a particular name to call themselves. Ijo, all those things and all of that, they were just choosing and picking their names. But they were all together known as Igbos. Now, as Igbos, they decide to go on all of that. That doesn't mean that they are not together, because one, they are together. They are a people. They came individually and collectively to agree to be a people. When they agreed to be a people, that is why I said the collective interest of the people determines the kind of agreement they go into. And agreement is binding and is a spiritual source of control over the people who, both physical and spiritual source of control over the people who are involved. So when you want to talk about the Igbo nation and the Biafra, or look at it in the context of Biafra, based on the fact that some people are still being known as Igbos and other people are being known as other tribes. Let's bring it to the context of Biafra, which began about 400 years ago. As Biafra, the collective interest of Biafra is based on the agreement of the people to still remain together as a nation of people having common ties. Because what we mean by common ties is that they have things in common. We have 4 market days. We have, our women tie 2-piece wrapper. We almost have similar foods. We almost think the same way. We almost do the same things the same way. Our traditional way of operation, our cultural values are almost the same. Everything. That means we came from a source. That is why we have tunes of what we do in every of the cultures similar. So this makes us understand that we must see. Let me tell you something. There's something Prince was saying. Prince Ezemi was saying on Monday here when he came. He will be here by Monday. When he came yesterday, Thursday. There's something he was saying. He said something. He said, have you seen where they talk about, yes, masquerade? Ugomba said masquerade, they say masquerade. I mean, our people should begin to think beyond what Fulanis have made us to think and what Britain has made us to think. Now, ask yourself a question. The other day, I was playing a particular video, and check most of these videos. Why is it that when this British and all these people are referring to us, why do they refer to us like as Igbos? Why did they call us Igbos? You think that it's coincidence? It is factual. They know we are Igbos. They know our history. They take our history seriously because they know our history has something to do with where we're going, our collective focus. So what they did is that they came to attack our history so that we can play down on our collective focus. Because when we play down on our history, we are going to be divided. And as soon as we become divided, we're not going to have a collective purpose or collective interest. That is what they're achieving. That is what is wrong. And that's why some people will still want to argue the fact that they're not Igbos. Because they want to keep you away from our collective. See, they refer. Do you know? It's not coincidental. Listen to those videos. They say the Igbos. Even when they were interviewing this Fulani man, this Tafa Belawa, what's his name, that was talking rubbish. He said the Igbos. Till today, they say the Igbos. If they want to kill now, they call in Nyamiri. Everybody, that Nyamiri represents the Igbos. This is what we're saying. Okay, Nwachukwu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been lecturing Biafrans on all of these issues for years. This is a man who had studied everything about Biafra for 17 years. Mazi has actually destroyed the zoo with just truth. That's the truth. He has destroyed the zoo with the truth. And that is why I'm coming to buttress on these things here, so that our people can really, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was teaching these things. People were arguing with him. People just fighting. People just want to fight something that will make them feel they want to just be different. Because of that envy You know, that's hatred. Just because who is in Nandakan, who is he? He is from he's Afaruku. He's not from Anambra. He's from Abia. So why should he be the one to tell us nonsense? He's not from Imo. Why should he be the one to tell us? Forgetting that Imo, Anambra, all of them, all these places were together before they now started, until the time when the British began to divide us, call us Anambra, call us this, call us that, call us Imo, call us. They started dividing us. That is what they want to achieve. But first, they know foundationally. That is why if you see all these videos that are revealing the truth about us, you'll see that these videos are always talking about Igbos. They're not, they seldom mention Biafra. Haven't you noticed it? Haven't you noticed it? Let me look at some messages. You know, greetings, Casey. Remain blessed. Amen. Ugochi Judith. Ugochi Judith, thank you so much. Amen. I say amen. I say he said to that. Thank you so much. I greet you, my brother. Remain blessed, and God continue to guide you, move you, guide you. We move, no going back. Thank you so much, Agbaogidi. Sorry, Agbaogidi. Thank you so much. You are here today again. Thank you, Agbaogidi. I also appreciate you for coming, for being part of this. Please like this video now. We beg you all. Yes, so please, we should like this video right now, and also subscribe and forward and share to people. Let them come and listen to the truth, because here we are looking at the truth and nothing but the truth. You know, Andy has been helping on this, trying to make it you know, to project it so that people can actually do this. Please read the comments, and as I'll also display it on the screen. Share, everybody share and like now. That is what we have to do. That's the only thing we can do to help other people to be informed, because when we help them to be informed, that is the best gift you can give to anybody, because when they are informed, their lives begin to change. They'll begin to get the right information, they'll begin to work on the right information, and they'll begin to do the right thing, so that we'll begin to reduce our problems. Because when the people around us are not informed, you know, we are going to still suffer the consequences, because they are going to actually be the ones to give us problems. Just like when somebody who is rich in the family, he wants to be the only rich person. When he parks his car, he will not be safe. He will be thinking of getting security people. You know why? Everybody's poor. So they would always want to attack him. They will look for means of stealing from him. But he doesn't understand that the wisdom thing here there is to make everybody around this community, at least to be comfortable. When they are comfortable, they will not even, only few, unless those ones who are very greedy, those kleptomaniacs, you know, who need a psychological, you know, therapy, you know, who need to be taught to become sensible. It's only those ones who will now come to begin to, you know, maybe, but almost everybody there will be contented, and they will even help to secure him. He doesn't even need to spend money on getting soldiers and all of that to secure his house. That is the fact. So what we're doing is send a message, let people understand, share this video, let people learn. That is the best gift you can give to them. By the time they learn, they don't need to argue with you anymore. They will understand the truth. Now let's go on, because we're going to continue this teaching. I'm going to continue it from this point until tomorrow. Also take it tomorrow. And of course, those information I told you about America and Biafra coming to the land that is empty, you know, and but rich, and America and other nations who actually had their nations coming into the land and finding people there, killing them, like Australia, going there, killing the people there and taking over their land and all of that. I'm going to tell you the implication of all of these in all of what we're saying. So tomorrow we're going to continue, because I don't want this broadcast to be too long, but I'm going to still continue the teaching to an extent. So now we go here. Now we have just now only 24 likes. That means we are watching but not liking or sharing the message. Please share and like. Please, let's like this video. Please, when we watch, let's support ourselves. Let's support us, you know, people like us who are doing the little we can do. Support us by liking. It doesn't remove anything from you. Liking, sharing, subscribing, you know, I think I looked at the subscription notice. I discovered that some people unsubscribed after they subscribed. I don't know why they did that. You know, it's not a good spirit. You know, we should learn to, you know, when I check some stuff and I see that people are doing well, I like their stuff. I share, and I also subscribe to their stuff, because I know that when we do that, we will dominate the scene. The media will be dominated by us. By the time we dominate the media, we are going to spread the news of truth. And when we spread the news of truth, we are going to contract those people who are lying. Their space will be limited, because we will reduce their space and we're going to increase our space. So when you like videos like this and you subscribe to this kind of channels, then when we come up and lots of people are watching and knowing the truth, you'll discover that we actually are defeating them. You'll discover that we actually are defeating them. What happened? Suddenly the whole messages here is gone. I hope YouTube is not fighting this thing. The whole messages just disappeared. How come? What's going on? We have to, the whole messages cannot disappear that way. You know, we need the messages to return. I don't know. I'm not no more seeing messages. I don't know whether you people are seeing messages over there, but we need to. Okay, I think the thing is trying to boot and come back. Okay, hopefully, let's see. I think I had to click something here, so let me see whether the messages will come back. You know, now it's telling me email. Oh my God, I don't know what happened. Please bear with me. Let me quickly put my email here, so that I can get the messages back. I can get the messages back. You know, so that I can get the messages back. I don't know why the messages disappeared. You know, messages are not supposed to disappear. I've not experienced that before. I don't know how it happened. I'm not seeing any message here anymore. So please bear with me in case I'm not reading messages again. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So as I was saying, they came together and then they started. Now, when our people came together, they now started the nation of the Igbo race. Now we have come to the point of Biafra. Now, the reason why Biafra is together is because the tribes decided to be together. Even at the point of conquest, they were living in peace. Do you know why? There was a collective interest. One, they had at least one focus, and that focus was their source. They were from the same source. They had the same beginning. They had the same operation. They had the same beginning. I don't know. Why is this message not appearing? What's going on? They had the same beginning. They had the same, source. What's going on, please? I don't know. Please, can somebody, I can't even know. Even if you send a message now, we'll not even know. Is there anybody seeing the message? The messages display? I don't know whether you can. I don't know what happened. So please, bear with me on that. Let me check this general settings to know what's going on, and to know participant's name, automatic graphics, show non-participants video, and all of that. So, please, I don't know what is happening to the messages. I don't know. They just disappeared. So let's go on anyways. I hope there's no attack on this system, on this stuff. So now let's go on. Now, when they came to that understanding, they had a nation because they collectively agreed based on the fact that they are together. They have common interests. They have common, if the language is not common, but at least similar and all of that. They had common ties, two-piece wrapper, the common market days, common interest, common focus, common culture, the masquerade and other things. These were common factors. So they understood this and they were working on that based on the fact that it was a common thing amongst them. Now, in this regard now, we now understand that they have collective interest. That collective interest is what brought them together as a nation. So when you want to talk about a nation, you must look at the collective interest of the people. The collective interest of the people. The collective interest of the people. What is going on? Why is this message not displaying? The collective interest of the people. So now, that is why you see that the nation of Biafra will always stand. You know why? Because the people have a collective interest. The people have a collective interest. And that collective interest is what brought them together, or is what is keeping them together. Now, moving from that point now, we have looked at it. So to actually establish a nation, people must have a collective interest, right? We have got that fact right. Now, as soon as you get the collective interest, then you now get an agreement based on your collective interest. Now, remember, that collective interest is stipulated or is harnessed or is sealed by collective culture. That's your culture, your maybe your language is different languages, but yet particularly similar, and then your way of operation, your modus operandi, your modus vivendi, everything that you do is collective, having the same undertone. What I mean by modus vivendi is way of life. Modus operandi, the way you operate, the way your method of operation. So if your method of operation is going to be in a particular way, that means your modus vivendi must be similar or must have the same pattern. Your way of life will influence your method of operation. Your method of life, or modus vivendi, method of life, will reflect or will design or will be the one to regulate your method of operation. Because there's no way you can operate without having a pattern to life, a perspective to life. So Biafrans as a people have a perspective to life. That is why you see that the nation of Biafra is a nation. And as being a nation, it is easy for us to have a composition of a government. Now, let me tell you something. It is from the method of life of the people that you have the method of operation of the people. Now, how does this, what do I mean by this? The method of life is what gives us the ability or the plan or the template to compose the constitution that we have, or what we call an agreement document. When I talk about constitution, I don't want to go too fast so that people will say constitution. No, let's look at it. An agreement document. So when you look at a constitution, you are talking about an agreement document in which the people agreed based on their collective interest and their modus vivendi. That means their way of life influenced that document. That document is an agreement which spells out how they want to live together. Now, remember, where we're going is that we want to have some revealing facts about no election, why we're saying no election, so that you will understand the basic focus of no election. Now, the constitution you see, the constitution you hear about, is supposed to be, or in a simple term, it's an agreement document which people compose based on their lifestyle, based on their collective interest, based on their culture, based on the fact that it is based on what they like and how they operate. They decided to design this constitution to guide themselves as a document of agreement, so that in case anybody is going away from the lifestyle or the collective interest, they can now say, hey, look at this document we signed, says it is like this. You can't go against it. That is the essence of a constitution. Don't see constitution as don't see it as a foreign document, something there for government. No, constitution is an agreement, agreement document of the people. As simple as that. That agreement document contains the style of government the people want based on their lifestyle. For instance, Biafrans are Republicans by nature. So based on that, now we determine the lifestyle. Our lifestyle determines how the kind of government we want, the kind of people we want to lead us, the kind of lifestyle we have, and all of that. And then also, the same document will determine how we respect ourselves, how we want to do our businesses, how we want to have our offices, how we want to have a relationship with other people who don't have the same interest with us, or they don't have the same lifestyle with us, but we can also reach an agreement in which we can operate, how we can also deal with other nations and their own personal interest or their own collective interest. This document is an agreement document. So a constitution is an agreement document that helps us spell all of these details. Now, I'm going to take this up tomorrow, 1 p.m. Biafra time. From this point, we're going to have it. I'm going to remember our focus is here. We're revealing facts about the no election. So this is part 1 of it. I'm going to come up with part 2 tomorrow. So I'm going to explain it from that point to the next point so that you can understand it. By 1 p.m. tomorrow, Biafra time, you shall get more facts. You shall get more revelation. You shall get more insights to these things. Just remember, the reason for this is to open up our eyes, so that we will all see the reason of what we are doing, so that we can all attest to what we are doing, and then have an understanding why we are saying no election. Because it is getting closer. Remember, today is the 135th day. The 135th days remaining for us to get to taking Biafra as a nation. So we must make our people understand why we are doing what we're doing, and of course, at the same time, help our people to understand the basis of what we're doing and understand why we are doing what we're doing, and how what we're doing will benefit us, and how what we're doing will benefit every one of us, and at the same time, how what we're doing will benefit both those people that even are not supposed to be with us, like the Fulanis and other people. How to even benefit those other nations around us, like the Oduduwa, the Hausas, and all of that. Now, I'm going to also speak on how the Hausas and the Fulanis, became a nation. When you hear Hausa Fulani, I'm going to explain all of that by tomorrow. By 1 p.m. Biafra time tomorrow, join me here. you're going to be hearing some strong words, some valuable words, some things that will change your perspective, some things that you have not heard. Maybe you have not heard them before, but you're going to hear them, or maybe you have heard them before, but you're going to hear them in another light, in another way of explanation. Thank you so much for being part of this. Please share this broadcast by tomorrow 1 p.m. Please don't forget, join me here 1 p.m. Saturday Biafra time. And remember, we're going to have a joint broadcast of Media Team today by 6 p.m. Biafra time, 6 to 7 p.m. 6 or 7 p.m. Biafra time. We're going to have that joint broadcast. You can join us also at that time to also get more information. But tomorrow 1 p.m. I'll be here live and you will get the message. Please invite other people, get them to understand. We're going to go deeper into this matter, so that you will know why we say no election. Then you will understand the hidden secrets behind the concept of no election. You will understand them better. Thank you so much. My name is Kelechi Ambrose. Please share this video on all your social media platforms. Like the video also, and then subscribe to this channel. Click the notification button so that you can receive this. This is how you help us, you support us, you encourage us to work. And this is how also other people will get information of what we are doing and what they need to know. And this is how you help other people get information. And when you help them get information, you are actually helping everybody to recover. And when everybody recovers, we'll have less crime, we have less battles to fight, we have less forces against us. That is the essence of trying to make sure that what you have, you make sure that other people can also get, so that everybody will have, and then nobody will be hunting the other. That is the essence of what we're doing. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you very good. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the weekend as we have come into it. And make sure that you are safe, secure. Make sure you're praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's coming out very soon. Don't worry about anything. The spiritual is in control. Pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa. The Lord will keep him strong and safe, just like Ojukwu has done his Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. They are doing the mandates now. Mazi Simon Ekpa leading the autopilot in the context of the new dimension, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talked about. And of course, I explained the autopilot mode yesterday. If you go and listen to yesterday's video, you'll discover the details I gave about autopilot and the details and how it is composed. And of course, by tomorrow, I'll be shedding more light on all of those stuff too. So join me tomorrow, 1 p.m. and stay blessed, remain blessed, continue to be blessed.